And good evening and welcome to Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Our WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com high school girls basketball preview program. Along with Larry Hazer and Mike Steinwagner, I'm Gene Delisio. Good to have you with us for our program this evening. And during the next couple of hours, we'll talk with area girls basketball coaches about the upcoming season. Should be a fun year. Some very good basketball teams locally once again this year. Larry Hazer from WPKG and WCCN in Neillsville joining us once again on our broadcast. Larry, good to see you back once again. And
good to be here.
We've both seen some pretty good girls basketball already this year.
Yes, we have. Some good teams in the area. A lot of I noticed a lot of teams that are ranked in state.
That's right.
This year with the Zaleski media poll, and looking forward to seeing some of those teams here coming up. I know Owen Withey and Neillsville play tomorrow night in girls basketball. That should be a good one in the Eastern Cloverbell Conference. And a lot of other good teams around central Wisconsin, so it should be a good year for girls basketball.
Of course, you see a regular diet of good girls basketball following the Neillsville girls for many years, so that's something you're pretty much used to over there. Yeah,
it's I guess we're kind of spoiled with girls basketball and the play. We're kind of, I guess, not used to seeing not good teams in Neillsville over the years. I think it started back in 2006 when Coach John Gaier, he took over before that, but ever since then, when they first went to state, I mean, it's been a run of, I think they got 87 in a row this year in the Eastern Cloverbell Conference. So, we're spoiled in Neillsville.
And as you mentioned, they play Owen Withey on Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah.
And good to see the Blackhawks back on with a strong program like they have many years ago. They've been steadily building the last couple of seasons under Coach Jolling, and now do a nice job as well.
Yeah, I think they went to state last year.
That's right.
Yeah, so they're back, I think, with a lot of those girls that were at state, because they were young just several years ago. Mm-hmm. So, they're coming back with a pretty good team. I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup. I know Neillsville played Columbus Catholic last week and only won by 13. So maybe some of these –
If you're a passerby and you hear that, only won by 13, you're thinking, well, it's not really all that close. But for Neillsville, sometimes it is.
Right, yes, it is. I know. I'm sure Coach John Gaier was looking at that score and saying that's too close for us. Mm-hmm. Normally they like to get the big leads and hold them, but some of these teams might be getting. I know Columbus Catholic. We're going to be talking to their coach here. Mm-hmm. They've got some good young talent coming up, and I think Owen Withey is another one of those teams that has good young talent coming up.
And we talked about Columbus, of course, so we're going to have the Stratford Tigers represented this week with Coach Tammie Christopherson joining us, and they're unbeaten as well.
Yeah.
And, the Auburndale Ball Club, always one that falls kind of under the radar. They're always a team that's going to be competitive, well above 500, maybe finish second in the conference, don't get that notoriety, but they're always very strong, and we'll hear from Coach Nagel as well during our program tonight.
Yeah, and then they're in a conference, with Assumption, with some of them teams that are, like you said, they get lost, when you got Assumption in the same conference. It's kind of like with Neillsville, Owen Withey kind of gets lost, and true. Columbus Catholic, too.
Yeah, that's true. So some good basketball out there once again this year. We'll be talking to area coaches about these teams throughout the evening here on WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com. Once again, we're at Nutz Deep 2.
I got to try the pizza, by the way. I haven't even had a piece yet.
Oh, you better hurry up.
I know.
Mike Steinwagner's here, so it's not going to last very long. It's like, better get over there right now. He's on his third one already.
Oh, boy.
But once again, we're at Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. And don't forget, on Tuesdays, it's Triple Threat Tuesday at Nutz Deep 2. Tacos, margaritas on tap, and America's Pub Trivia at 7 p.m. every Tuesday right here on Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. And we'll take a break and come back momentarily and visit with Pittsville High School girls basketball coach Jason Knott. But right now, let's pause for these messages.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Hey everybody, Nat over at Wheeler Chevrolet GMC, and I am standing in our all-new express lane. Open now, no appointment necessary. Stop on in and get things like oil changes, filters, quick lubes. No appointment necessary. See you soon.
Did you know we carry chocolate that can help you stay strong and fit this holiday season?
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
It's our high school girls basketball preview program this evening from Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. We're talking about girls basketball tonight, but we do have several boys basketball games being played locally tomorrow evening. In non-conference boys games tomorrow, Augusta plays at Gilman. Cadott is at Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser, Tomahawk at Three Lakes, and in the CWC South, the Pittsville boys play tomorrow at Almond Bancroft. And speaking of Pittsville girls basketball coach Jason Knott joining us to talk about the Panther girls basketball team. Coach, thanks for joining us and welcome to our program.
Happy to be here.
Coach, congratulations on the good success you've had at Pittsville. Some good success once again last year. Fill us in on last season and how you're trying to build on that for this year.
Yeah, so last year was my second year with the program, and I had that group of then juniors when I took over 2 years ago. So we had 9 seniors graduate off of last year's squad, so a very veteran team. And now the opposite this year is I think we lost something like 96% of all of our stats. One returning player, Lana Vollert, my one senior, who has significant experience, any relevant experience on the varsity level. So a lot of inexperience, but it's been quite a shift from the last 2 years to this year, but that's one of the wonderful things about coaching is that some years you're going to have those kids that you're going to have kids for multiple years, and some years you're going to have a roster turnover where you get back to the basics. And this has been a fun group. It's been fun to have a group that they're like sponges, soaking it all in and learning, and they get better every game. So,
well, despite the inexperience on your team, you're off to a 5-1 start. So how have you been able to do that and be so successful early?
Two things I would pin it on is so Lana is a great story because Lana was kind of in the shadow of that senior class that graduated, and with her being the senior this year, she has really stepped up into a leadership role on this team. She leads us in points. She's second in rebounding, leads us in steals. She's just doing all those things that one would expect from a senior leader on the team. So Lana's been a big part of that starting, and we're about defense. That's kind of something that tried to instill in the program 3 years ago when I took over. Is like, what do you hang your hat on every night? And growing up, defense meant a great deal to me. Growing up, I took a lot of pride in it, and then as a coach. The thing about defense, if you can play good defense, you're going to be in every game every night. Because even when the ball's not going in the basket, as long as you can keep the other team from scoring, you're going to be in games. So those things have added to our success. But we've said from the beginning is we had Reese was a dynamic scorer. Brent Friday, we had 2,000-point scorers on that roster last year. There's something to be said about when you have a team that so we're 5-1. We have 6 games, and we have 5 different leading scorers in those 6 games on the team, and we got 4 kids averaging above 8.9 points per game. So we've had 3 games with 5 kids in double figures. So it's kind of a team approach, and it's nice to have a Reese, right, a kid who can put up 25, 30 on any given night. But there's something to be said as a coach about on any given night, if someone's cold, someone else is going to put the ball in the basket, and that's the thing with this team is they're very selfless as far as they will get the ball to whoever's open and put the ball in the basket, and there's no hard feelings over who's scoring or who's getting the rebounds, and it's just like a next person up approach, and I really enjoy that and respect that as a coach.
Coach, I've discussed this with other coaches who emphasize the defensive end, John Gaier being one of them, but how do you as a coach get young players, especially players below the varsity level, to buy into a defensive system? That's not the most attractive way to play the game. So they want to score points, things like that. So how do you really emphasize defense, especially on the lower levels?
Yeah, so you're right about that. I guess what we do is it's like putting lipstick on a pig, right? We make it attractive. We talk about it all the time. We want people to go after it, and we encourage it in practice when people are making defensive plays and exceptional plays. And I coach in our youth program. I have some younger daughters, but I've coached in our youth program, and we play man-to-man defense in our youth programs too. So, we run into a lot of teams. They had a 6th through 8th grade tournament just this last weekend. We play in the Great Northern, and probably 80% of the teams we play in it's in an 8th grade league, play zone defense. And I'm a basketball purist. I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to fathom 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams playing zone defenses if you're teaching those concepts. And we play man-to-man even in games. There are games we could win in the youth league by sitting in a zone because kids just can't shoot. There aren't a lot of kids who can shoot from the perimeter at that age. That's just a reality. So when you pack it in a 2-3 zone at a youth league, I don't know if that's what you want to teach. We teach them. We're playing man-to-man defense. We may lose a game by 10 points, but we play man-to-man even when we're overmatched physically. So it's what we do, and they know that. And we have a saying, defense plays. Like, I don't care. I'd like it if you could put the ball in the basket once in a while, but if you can play defense, you're going to find your way on the court for us, and I think that's the message to kids. So.
And you mentioned Lana. How about some other young ladies on your team that are doing well for you this year?
Well, honestly, the whole roster, and this is not one of those coaching, the coach speak where I got to truthfully, yeah, Lana's been exceptional to start the year. Like she's been a force for us. And then I have 4 juniors: Briley Lupke, Addie Elsasser, Bailey Schmazel, and Hallie Friday. I got 1 sophomore, Kendall Knott, who's my oldest daughter, and then I got 2 freshmen, Harper Abel and Brindley Grimm. Those folks, if you were to look at our minutes played, it's about equal for all those 8 kids, right? That's we turn it over, and everybody has stepped up and kind of taken the spotlight at various times and filled in those roles during games and stuff. So, like, right now, that's been the key to this, is that there's not one kid you can stop, and if you do stop, and I was talking to Eric here while we were eating some pizza, and I'm an inside-out guy as a coach. I'll tell you that right now, as I'm normally a guy, hey, let's get it into the post. If we can't get the ball in the basket there, we'll kick out. Well, I have a roster this year that I have a lot of kids who can shoot three-pointers. We're kind of strong from the perimeter, and we're shooting about 39% as a team from 3 for the season right now. So I had to change my philosophy as a coach, as we're running a lot of 4-out stuff where we're spreading the court, and we're taking way more 3-point attempts in a game than historically as a coach that I'm comfortable with, but we're putting the ball in the basket and it's spreading the court out. So, I've talked to the girls, is when you got 5 or 6 kids who can put the ball in the basket from 3, the odds of all of them being off on the same night, not very likely. So eventually, we're going to get to someone who's going to be hot that night, or multiple kids, and it's just been one of those things, like truly a true team approach this year from the kids. And I think the thing about Lana is kind of our go-to kid, though. Like, Lana is, if we can get the ball to Lana, we get the ball to Lana. Lana is physical. She's athletic, and she's kind of that kid who's got that experience. She's been battle-tested. She played on a team that went to sectional finals, her sophomore year, and then to a regional championship, played some pretty good basketball teams over the last 2 years. She's battle-tested, and that comes out in these games, some of these games where we get in tight games, that these younger kids don't have that experience yet, right? The Columbus game and the Cranberry Classic, right? That was a great high school basketball game. And for my kids, I would love to win the game, but it was just a great high school basketball game, and it was a great experience for those kids that you can't – You can't simulate that in a practice. You need to play in games like that for these kids to get experience. But, everybody contributes, and we have pretty competitive practices because of that. So it's just been a team approach and no egos on this team.
Larry, any questions you have for Coach Knott?
You mentioned you hang your head on defense, but I look at some of the numbers here, and you're putting up some big offensive numbers. Is it defense leading to offense, or a lot of transition, or?
I'd love to tell you that, but really it's not, because normally you'd say, we're turning the ball over a lot. Now, we do force a lot of turnovers. We're probably turning the ball over more than I'd like to see as we get into the season. I think we need to cut down on our turnovers. But most of it's been that we shoot. Like our shot volume has gone up significantly over the last 2 years. We're taking more attempts in a game. Like, I think we're averaging something like 13.8 attempts more per game last year than we did either of the last 2 years this year, right? And we're shooting at a decent clip. Free throws have been a Achilles heel for us right now, and we need to get better at the free throw line. But I think it's just by volume right now, and there's just so many kids who are able to score. But yeah, we do turn teams over, and we like to get up. We like to push the ball up the court. I don't think we're at that stage yet. Like, I want to get to that point where. And they have the potential where we get a lead, we can sit in half-court defense and stop teams. Like once we get a lead, we're gonna play a half-court, not press, and we're just gonna stop you. We're not there yet, but we have the potential to be.
You mentioned the Columbus Catholic game, a good game for you guys. What did you get out of that game? I know you lost, but a lot of times when you play a team to that caliber, there's things that you can get out of that game that help you for the future.
I think that going in, I don't think there were many folks outside of our own gym that were giving us much of a chance against, looking at what we lost. And, Gardner's a fantastic player for a freshman, right? And we went in and we went into that game with the mindset of saying, listen, we're going to keep Gardner from putting up 27. She's not going to score 27 points. And we did a pretty good job of that, right? We shut her down. We held her to 3 in the first half. And it was a focus. And I think the kids understood, like, hey, we can play with these elite basketball teams. Like, it was a 48-48 game. At our 47-47 game with 2 minutes to go in the game. And once again, just a great game. So I think it gave the girls – I don't think they lacked confidence going into that game. Like, we went into that game thinking we're going to win this basketball game. But I think actually doing it, the girls were like, hey, like, we have the potential to be a really good basketball team.
I was going to say the confidence coming out was probably a lot higher.
Everything you need to happen as a coach when you're thinking about a young team, early season games, we fell – we were right in at 22-22 at the half, and then we fell down 8 in that second half. And we hit a couple of big threes, different kids, hit a couple of big threes. We got a steal and a layup, and we tied the game up after falling down 8. And that's one of those things that, that kind of builds your confidence as a team when you do that. If it had been back and forth the whole way, it's one thing. But to fall down 8 to a really good team and then claw back and have a chance to win it at the end, like, it was just – I told the girls, I said afterwards in the classroom, we weren't in the locker room, but I said to them, we're a better basketball team than we were an hour ago. And that's all I can ask for as a coach. Like, playing in that game, we're a better basketball team. And I say this a lot in those games. You lose those good games. We lost a 1-point game to Neillsville last year. I said I would have loved to have just been a fan sitting in the stands of neither team to watch this because it was a great game. It's just hard when you're a coach to lose it, but it was a great high school basketball game.
Coach, when you mentioned earlier that your shot attempts per game is up, the first thing I think about is that might mean that your turnovers are down. You're getting more shots. Have you worked on reducing your turnovers the last couple of years?
Well, we're going to start now because I'm going to tell you they're not down. Our turnovers are up too. So yeah, it's like we're an anomaly. I don't know what, like, a lot of these. I'm a big statistics guy, right? I like analytics. I like breaking things down, and there's a lot of things that aren't correlating here. Like, if you look at our record and our success. There's some numbers that you'd be like, our free throw shooting percentage, we're shooting 51% as a team. We're better than that. I mean, we're a better free throw shooting team than that. Our turnovers, I want to say it's like almost 20 a game we're averaging right now. We need to do better with that. Now, I will say this. I've always said not all turnovers are created equal, right? If you have aggressive turnovers, like we're going for a full court pass, you got a kid leading to throw it out. Now, if you're up at the top against a 2-3 zone and you just throw a ball that gets picked off going for a layup, that's a bad turnover. So make the turnovers good turnovers, like where we're being aggressive. We're not giving up a layup on the other end. If you're giving up layups, that's direct points. If you turn the ball over, but you can get back and you can defend and get the ball back, doesn't have the same impact as turning the ball over. Unfortunately, there's been a couple games where, and that's minimal. So the turnovers are up, but we haven't given up as many points off turnovers. Like, that's down. The turnovers are up, but the points off turnovers are down for us this year so far.
Well, then the next step in that argument would be your shot attempts are up, but your turnovers are not down, so therefore probably your offensive rebounding numbers are up.
Yeah, and that's been a focus for us, and it's been the guard position. So Hallie Friday and Lana Vollert right now, and Harper Abel, 3 of our guards, lead us in offensive rebounds. So 3 guards lead us in offensive rebounds. So we played a lot of teams who shoot outside. You know, you have outside shooting teams, and we shoot outside. You're going to have your guards are going to be getting rebounds because it's long bounces, right? So, yeah, I think we're doing a pretty darn good job so far offensive rebounding because we focus on, hey, listen, you got to be prepared to rebound, and our guards on defense, too, on the defensive end. We expect our guards to rebound on the defensive end, too. So,
okay. How about your coaching staff for this year?
So coaching staff, Ben Bittner has moved up to he is our JV coach, and then Corey Cum is back as my varsity assistant coach this year. So that's our coaching staff. So Corey's been with me for the whole time, and Ben was a middle school coach, helped out a little bit at the high school last year, and then moved up as coach in the JV this year.
And you're facing Almond Bancroft on Friday night.
Yeah, big game for us.
Okay.
But big game in that progression, right? We play Pacelli for the first time January 11th, so we don't see them till the 11th. If we can get a win on Friday, you know, it would put us at 3-0 in the conference. And then by the time we get to see Pacelli at Pacelli on January 11th, you know, you're likely going in there undefeated to play at Pacelli for first place in the conference. It's a place I would tell you I'd be happy to be at this point with a young roster like this. So.
And re-scrims at UW Eau Claire.
Yeah. We went up and watched her. My daughters and my wife and I went up and watched her play earlier this year. So
good luck. And Sydney Subke from Neillsville is there also.
Yeah, she's there as well.
Yeah.
Got to see them both play that night.
So
they both played. And actually, Havlovitz
that's right.
was at Ripon, was there. It was a tournament on a weekend, and she was playing for Ripon that weekend. So I got to see several
the young lady from Wild
CWC.
Rose.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, Coach, good luck throughout the season. Thanks for coming by and visiting with us tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Pittsville High School girls basketball coach Jason Knott joining us on our girls basketball preview program here at Nutz Deep 2 in Marshfield. We'll come back momentarily and check in with Columbus Dons girls basketball coach Eric Wilson following these messages.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Nutz Deep 2, a Marshfield favorite for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Soup, salad, pizza, omelets, sandwiches, wraps, and burgers. How about appetizers like loaded tots and super nuts nachos? 14 large TVs to watch all your favorite games. Plus, entertainment and event space for groups large and small for your upcoming parties. Nutz Deep 2 again, awarded Best Burgers and Fish Fry in Marshfield. Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield and Nutz Deep 2 North in Spencer.
Stay with us for our halftime for our girls basketball preview program tonight from Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Our program on WOSQ this evening brought to us by Chili Implement on County Highway Y in Chili. That's the official source for Land Pride implements for farm, turf, dirt working, and landscaping. Chili Implement, in Chile. Our next guest is Columbus Dons girls basketball coach Eric Wilson. Coach, thanks for joining us and welcome to our program this evening.
I appreciate having me, guys. Appreciate the coverage all year as well.
And your team off to a good start, 4-2 so far this year. Fill us in on what you've seen from the Dons so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a really good start to the year. I don't know that we maybe performed as well as we wanted to against Neillsville and Assumption, but we're young, and as the year goes on, I think we'll get better, but we did compete against those two teams, so overall, pretty happy with the start of the year.
And you've got some very good talented ball players on your roster this year. If you can, fill us in some of the young ladies on your team and what they mean to your success so far this year.
Sure. We've got 3 seniors. Kate Casperson's coming back. She's a guard for us. She was honorable mention last year. She's a really good shooter. She's become a really good leader for us as well. Chase Blinker as well, another captain for us. She's just getting back in the groove. She missed the first couple weeks of practice with a foot injury, but great leader for us. And then our 3rd senior is Jaylee Garneau. Is a great leader for our younger kids and has taken a lot of them under the wing and just showed them a lot of things about getting around and making sure they're at practice on time and what we do. Couple juniors, Sophie Wilczek, obviously this will be her 3rd year starting on varsity. Aubrey Lambrecht as well, and then our sophomores, Izzy Holtz, who was our leading scorer last year, who is 2nd team all-conference, and then Maddie Bernick, who has brought a post presence to us that we haven't had. She has a physicality that we probably haven't had before, and I think some people are surprised by that, so she's done a great job to start. Then we got a couple freshmen. Kenley Hilgeman, expect huge things from her. She had a great volleyball season as a freshman, really athletic, and is playing varsity minutes for us right now. And then Ellie Gardner, who's leading us in scoring right now, who is just a really good basketball player, and it's her passion. And she's brought a lot to the team. She doesn't just score. She's done a lot of other things that get other kids shots as well.
Coach, I believe that the players you just mentioned, the 9 players you have, consist of your program. You do not have a JV team this year, but nonetheless 9 solid ball players this year.
Yeah, Gene, I've done a couple interviews before too. We had 13 all summer, and we had some kids make some choices right before the season that they decided to go play a different sport, some club sports, etc. And don't want to focus on that. I wish they were playing. I do believe that, but I also am trying to focus on who's there. The kids that are there are putting a bunch of time in. They've done everything we've asked of them, and the reality is they're stuck together as a team. So we're in a decent place right now. Other than it wouldn't be nice to have a JV team.
Do you find, Coach, that when you've got low numbers like that, there's perhaps some bonding with those ball players together that makes them more of a cohesive group?
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing I'll tell you is there's a little less drama. The reality, I can flat out say that with the 9. We talk about it a lot. They've got to play for each other, and if they've set some goals, some very high goals, and they've got to stick together to get there. And I think they've bought into that. And so you see our freshmen and our seniors doing drills together. You see them making sure that the freshmen get to practice if they need a ride. That's something it's a big deal as the season goes on.
Tell us about some things this team does well on the floor this year.
The one thing I think we're going to do really well, we probably haven't done it as well as I thought we would yet, is shoot the ball. We've had glimpses. We shot the ball really well the first 2 games of the year. We shot the ball then actually fairly well against Neillsville, a couple kids. We've got really good guard play right now, and then honestly, we're going to rebound the ball better than we ever have. Maddie Bernick, Chase Blinker, and Kenley Hilgeman, we have not been out-rebounded by more than 2, and I think that was 2 games, and the other ones we actually usually beat people on the boards pretty well. So our guard play and then our rebounding is 2 strengths that we really have going on this year.
I know seeing Chase Blinker in the past, she looks like she can be a rather physical ball player on the inside. That would be a big help for you this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she started for us last year. She's just rounding back, getting back into basketball shape. She's going to play a lot of minutes, whether that's coming off the bench or starting. It may vary a little bit here and there, but she definitely brings a presence inside.
Larry, any questions you have for Coach Wilson?
I noticed you mentioned freshmen and sophomores stepping up. Of course, you only have 9 players, but have they been a surprise as to how well they have done this early in the season or not?
For me, no.
No. Okay.
The only reason I say it is they've been around our program. For example, Izzy Holtz, I don't think is surprising to anybody. She's top of the scouting report, 2nd team all-conference last year. Ellie Gardner has played with us all summer. She's really skilled. She maybe surprised some teams, not what she did in my mind. So from there, she's just she lives in the gym. So she's just doing what she does most of the time.
Offensively or defensively, I know we talked with Coach Knott from Pittsville They like to hang their hat on the defense. What about you guys?
I would say the same, but I would say the one thing I believe in is we're going to play a little faster. I mean, I hear you talk about it quite often, Larry. You know where I come from. I come from with Joe on the boys' side. I do believe on the girls' side that if you can play faster, you have an advantage. I think you have to play good defense, and I think we've proven that we played good defense. And we held a really good Neillsville team to 49 points last week, and that was with a bunch of free throws at the end. So we can play defense, but we want to play faster. And even with the people asking me the lower numbers, is that okay? Yeah, these kids can play a lot of minutes. The reality is faster pace, but we can't turn the ball over a lot as we do it. So definitely need to play defense, but I think you need to score the ball too, and that makes us a little different.
The 2 losses you had were 2 ranked teams in the state. What did you learn from those? I know they were losses, but teams always learn from those.
You know, as a coach, coming out of them right away, before you take a step back, you're irritated a little bit because you kind of think you had a chance, and we had a chance in both games. I mean, we were at the Assumption. I think we were down 8 at half. We were close, and we lost the Jay Zaleski girl a couple times and gave up a couple threes. We had to battle back. In the past, in that Assumption game, we would have lost by 40. We came back and just battled, and then Neillsville. I mean, you know, we went down 11-0 to Neillsville, and I would have told you last year, the year before, we'd probably be beat by 50 when that happens. We came back and we got back in the game where we got within 4 or 5. 3-4 times in the first half. We were right there. I like where our kids are at right now, and we talk a lot about this. They have to start to believe, though, that they can compete with them. I think it's this mindset piece of them. They're just as good, and I'm not taking anything away from those 2 teams. We just have to believe that we're on that same level, and I think we're getting there.
What about that Eastern Clover Belt this year? I know Neillsville, Owen Withy, you guys probably up there in the mix.
Sure. Yeah, I think if you look at that, there's a lot of good teams in the Eastern Clover Belt. I think everything starts with Neillsville. I mean, I think it's 76 in a row or something like that. I looked at it the other day because somebody asked me, and until somebody beats them, they're the team to beat. And what Mr. Gaier's done over there, what John's done, we all look to replicate that. So, and then I think Owen, they may not be as skilled as they were past years, but they're really well coached, and now they're coming off a trip to state, so they have a lot of confidence. I think we're right in that mix in the top 2 or 3. I think it can go either way, and I think we're going to get better as the year goes on.
Coach, last year you got some great production from Izzy Holtz as a freshman. Can you talk about the progression she's made in her game from her freshman year to her sophomore year?
Sure. Last year I think she was trying to fit in to start the year. She wanted to make sure people knew that she respected the seniors, et cetera, and we had to work on that a little bit through the year, to be honest with you. Like, you're good enough that you got to lead, from there, and I think she's taken on more of a leadership role this year. She's kind of that person in between maybe the Ellie Gardners and the freshmen and our seniors that kind of brings those 2 together. Her and Sophie Wilczek do that. We're still working a little bit with Izzy that, hey, you're as good as you want to be. Don't defer from there. And when she doesn't defer, she's really tough to stop.
How about your coaching staff for this year?
Yeah, coaching staff for this year, Jake Konitsky is still assistant coach on the varsity. We obviously, Dan Holtz would have been our JV coach if we had a JV program, but he's still helping out, and then Brianna Varshall.
Okay, good staff there. And you're back in action on Thursday at home against Gilman.
That is correct.
And that game will be broadcast on WOSQ and also on ZaleskiSports.com. So good luck in that ball game throughout the season.
Appreciate it very much, Gene.
Columbus Dons basketball coach Eric Wilson joining us on our girls basketball coaches program from Nutz Deep 2 in Marshfield. By the way, you have a party coming up. You can book that right here at Nutz Deep 2. They have parties for folks between 10 and 100 numbers. They have some catering available as well, full party menu and drink packages. Stop by and visit Nutz Deep 2 to book your party here at Nutz Deep 2 in Marshfield. Auburndale High School girls basketball coach Josh Nagel joins us next, so please stay with us as our girls basketball preview program continues on WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com.
What do you like most about Columbus Catholic Schools?
Amazing teachers, because they're funny and nice.
It's the small classroom sizes.
Because it teaches us to be kind.
We invite you to check out Columbus Catholic Schools and see for yourself why our students like it here. That if you really want your student to attend Columbus Catholic Schools, we will work with you as much as possible to make that reality. Contact us at 715-387-1177 or admissions@columbusdons.org for more information.
Hey, need a lift? No, I can't give you a ride because I can't drive yet. But I can tell you all about the new awesome lift chairs at Mall Furniture. These things are so cool.
Mole Furniture has over 40 lift chairs in stock and ready for delivery anywhere in central Wisconsin.
Let's be real. We all need a lift once in a while. So when it's your turn for a new lift chair, head to Mole, because we got them all.
Mole Furniture and Mattress, West 9th Street, Marshfield.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Neillsville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale, we have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
On WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com. By the way, girls basketball tomorrow. Once again, Gilman plays at Columbus and Owen Withey at Neillsville. Both games to be televised tomorrow on ZaleskiSports.com, both on the radio as well. Gilman Columbus on WOSQ and Owen Withey Neillsville on WPKG. Also on the Zaleski Sports schedule tomorrow, the East Merrill hockey team plays at Wausau West, Mosney at D.C. Everest, and also Manoa and Amherst at Pittsville in wrestling action tomorrow on ZaleskiSports.com. Our next guest is Auburndale girls basketball coach Josh Nagel, joining us on our program this evening. Coach, thanks for joining us and welcome to our program.
Well, thank you for having me again.
And your team off to a good start, 4-0 so far this year. Fill us in on what you've seen from your Auburndale girls so far this year.
Well, I think our experience is getting us off on the right foot. I've got a lot of girls with 50 career games or more under their belts, and it's starting to show. We're able to work on some of the finer things, and they're just picking some offensive tendencies up a little bit quicker. We're able to progress a little bit faster here at the start of the season, so this is nice to see.
Yeah, that had to be a big advantage to you in preseason and early season practices when you've got a lot of girls coming in that know your system and know the game so well. Has that been the case for you?
Yes, I mean they're all familiar. They know what to expect with what we're trying to do in our system. So we've just been able to hit the ground running, and so far it's worked for the first 4 games.
All right. Well, how about some of the young ladies on your team and what they've meant to your success so far this year?
Well, we'll start with Kylie Anderson. She's our lone senior. She started every game for us last year. She's our off guard, but she's been stepping up a little bit more this year and actually handling the point position off and on. So Gracie Hasenorl doesn't have to do it all the time. And then, I've got Gracie Hasenorl and her sister Rose Hasenorl. They've been major contributors the last couple of years. Then there's Chesney Nagel and Maya Katzenberger, a second-team All-Merriwood Conference selection. She can be a force, and we're expecting a big year out of her. And so far, she's had a really nice year, averaging almost a double-double through the first 4 games. Breely Grimm's another one of those players where she just went off for 25 points on Friday night up at Phillips. So she's a capable scorer as well. We're waiting for Lily Belante to get back off her ACL injury, so that's just going to make us stronger. Marty Anderson is a sophomore who's getting substantial minutes here this year. So we've got a little bit of new coming in with a lot of the old, and hopefully it pays off.
Interesting that you mentioned the experience factor in your program, and yet only one senior on the team. So you got a lot of young ball players who will be back who have a lot of experience as well.
Yeah, that junior class has gotten a lot of experience since they were freshmen. So that's where all those career games come in. They've had to play maybe sooner than they needed to, or I don't know what the case was, but they they've got the experience, and it's showing here this year.
Well, tell us how you've seen this group improve their game these last few seasons. If you have so many girls who came up as freshmen, sophomore, junior, how they progressed between those 2 seasons.
It's just the physical strength is the first thing. We've had some girls put some time in the weight room here this year, so you can just see the physical strength, and that physical strength builds confidence. When you're physically strong, you're more confident with the ball, which is cut back on our turnovers here at the start of the season. Hopefully that continues. The first 2 years, we turned the ball over at a high rate, but this year it's been substantially better. And with that strength, these girls are 3-sport athletes. They're busy kids. They're hunting, fishing, they're stacking firewood, farming, riding horses. So these kids they're more than just basketball players and kids that just go home and sit on the couch. They're out doing things. They are extremely busy.
I don't want to really highlight anybody over anybody else, but we do hear a lot in the news about Maya Katzenberger. Has some big games for you. Tell us about Maya and what she does for your ball club.
Well, she's one of those kids that's extremely busy. She's got a nice outside shot. Most people think she's just an inside player, but she shoots the three-pointer at a high clip. She's probably right around 40-50%. She can play with her back to the game, or back to the basket, and she's passing out of the post real well. She knows she's going to get a double team coming her way, and she's been really cognizant this year of turning around, facing the basket, and if it's there, she'll make a move, and if not, she'll kick it out and repost. And her rebounding, if you would have thought, if someone would have told me she would have started the year with double-doubles almost every game, I would have jumped for joy, and she's doing it right now, so I hope she continues that.
Let's bring in Larry for some questions and comments. Larry.
I noticed some of the stats here. Your top 3 point scorers can shoot very well percentage-wise from the outside. Is that a product of getting in the gym and doing a lot of extra shooting, or?
I would hope so. If you would have saw our Wausau-Newman game, that wasn't the case, though. I think we were... What were we, 1 for 30 or something like that from 3? But no, these girls have put some time in, like I said, in the weight room and open gyms, some summer games. And like I said, they're just busy and they're athletic. So that makes my job easier.
You got 4 wins on the season. Any one that sticks out for you that's an important one early on in this season?
I think that first game with Almond Bancroft, they've got 2 really nice players down there, Maya Dernbach and Elia Newby, and Coach Newby down there does a really good job with them. I was pretty nervous going into that one because they are a bigger team. They're all longer than we are, and they're physical. So if I had to pick one game that kind of stood out, I would say that Almond Bancroft game.
You're 4-0. What's been the key to your success?
Well, our man-to-man defense is pretty solid.
Okay.
I think we're only giving up 35, 36 points a game. And part of that is I think we can put great pressure on the ball. We haven't had to press yet this year, and we've done that in the past. But this year I think, with Gracie Hasenorl and Chesney Nagel, they can put great ball pressure on ball handlers and shooters, and the rest of the girls just know how to play help defense. Rose Hasenorl, Breely Grimm, Maya Katzenberger, Marty Anderson, Kylie Anderson, they're just really good at helping. So we can face guard, and those other 3 girls on the court at any given time are always in the right spot.
And I would imagine playing together as juniors, over the years, they're all been on the same team for a long time.
Yeah, they definitely know each other very well, and they know what to expect from each other.
Yeah, that helps. Big time. Gene?
Coach, how about your coaching staff for this year?
I'm lucky enough to have my 3 assistants back. Justin Rabb is back, Brandon Roberson, who's been with the program a long time, and Chris Damerow. So that's good to have that continuity among the staff, and the girls. They know what to expect, and they've built relationships with them last year, so this year we're just off and running.
Any thoughts you have on the Marywood South this year?
It's going to be a dogfight like it is every year. Coach Klein at Assumption's got a great program running down there. Coach Christopherson at Stratford's got a nice team this year. Jeff Schneider at Marathon's got a good team. And Newman's playing really well. Edgar's an athletic bunch, so there's nothing easy on any given night.
And, Coach, you're back in action on Friday facing Shawamigan. That's an early start, I understand, Friday night.
Yep, that's a boys-girls doubleheader. The girls get the early game, and then the boys will go at 7:15. And then, we turn right around Saturday and travel to Bondwell.
Well, it'll be a busy weekend for you guys, but good luck on those games and throughout the season.
Thank you very much.
That's Auburndale girls basketball coach Josh Nagel joining us on our girls basketball preview program from Nutz Deep 2 in Marshfield. By the way, Nutz Deep 2 now featuring hand-squeezed lemonade. A 32-ounce hand-squeezed lemonade, only 80 calories. You can get that right here at Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Marshfield Tiger girls basketball coach Heidi Michaelis standing by, and she'll join us to talk about the Tiger basketball team following these messages.
Find your next car, truck, sport utility, or van at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale. Drive through their lot today to see rows and rows of vehicles ready to test drive. Or you can check out their complete inventory and see this week's featured vehicles at westsideservice.com. And check us out on Facebook. We're open 8 to 6 Monday through Friday or by appointment. At Westside, we service what we sell. Just a short drive from Rapid, Stevens Point, and Marshfield. Find your next ride at Westside Service Auto Sales in Auburndale, where we've been helping people find their next ride for nearly 50 years.
Tired of hearing about checking account features? So are we. It's more about what you can do with your money to live the life you want. Forward Bank puts your access to everything you need in the palm of your hand. Mobile deposit, recurring digital payments, transfer funds, or pay a friend easily. Yes, our checking is free and includes all that you would expect. It's supported by your neighbors and friends at Forward, dedicated to serving our communities. Open online today at forward.bank.
Retirement is a balancing act because everyone's financial situation is unique. A reverse mortgage loan can transform your home's equity into accessible cash, whether it's to pay off your mortgage, cover bills, or fund your dreams.
The cash is there if we need it, and it just takes a little stress off of our lives.
You have something else to fall back on?
Call me, Josh Kilty, your local retirement mortgage specialist, for a free consultation to help bring financial stability to your life.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauernfeind Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Marshfield Tiger basketball coach Heidi Michaelis, our next guest here on our girls basketball preview program. By the way, a special feature, legendary Mike Steinwagner now sitting in as he'll take over for Larry for a few moments as Larry gets some pizza. So Mike Steinwagner will be sitting in on this interview as well.
Gene, I want to straighten one thing out. I only had 2 pieces of pizza. I did not eat
sure?
I did not eat the whole thing over there. So
Well, the night is young.
The night is young, yes.
Heidi Michaelis once again joining us on our girls basketball preview program. Heidi, thanks for joining us and welcome to our program.
Thanks for having
Well,
me.
tell us about the start your season with kind of, I feel like I'm talking to Denny Gadel. Starting with some very, very difficult teams like he did during the football season. Right off the bat, you've done the same thing here to start your girls basketball season.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the one thing that you look at. You see that our record is 1-4, and you look at our schedule, and you have to take into account that we're playing some really, really tough, talented teams. And so on paper, it probably doesn't look that good, but honestly, I've seen growth over the past month from this team, and hopefully we're going to continue to see that as we go. But we definitely start out with some tough teams.
So as you mentioned, you've seen some growth. What are some areas where you've really seen some improvement these first few weeks?
I just think on Saturday, after that game against Hudson, I think the one thing that I took away is that we played some really long stretches of good basketball where we moved the ball very well. well, where we took care of the ball better, and that we just made basketball plays, some things that we hadn't seen early on in the season. I just think we took more pride in getting back on defense, being communicative out there. And so those are the things. I think the big thing that has been a struggle for us is being able to take care of the ball in our decision making. And on Saturday, we definitely put some big, good stretches together of doing that.
You don't have a lot of returners on your ball club, one or two who played a lot for you last year, but fill us in on the roster this year where those young ladies fill in for you.
Yeah, we have a nice mix of different ages of kids. We have 6 seniors, we have 5 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman. I think what you had alluded to before is only having 2 back that actually saw quite a bit of varsity time, and that is something that it just takes time. Game situations at the varsity level are definitely different than at the JV level or in practice, and so it's just going to take time. I said I did an interview earlier, I think for the paper, and just said that I think we're going to see a lot of improvement over the course of the season. I still believe that, just because every day that they come to practice, the repetitions that they're getting, the game competition that they're seeing, we're seeing the improvement with that. The 2 seniors that saw a lot of time last year are Haley Klum and Kylie Laufenberg, and so we are depending on them to do a lot for us, not only score the ball for us, play tough defense, and then just, be those floor generals on the floor, just because they have seen that competition before.
How about some other young ladies on the team this year? Where they fit
in? We start a sophomore in Natalie Delaney, a junior in Lily Adler, and in a freshman with Kennedy Kolstad. And so we do have a nice mix of kids. All of them bring different things to the table that are helping us try to get wins. We have seniors that come to practice every single day, the Pierce twins, Kendall and Cameron, Cassidy Christopher, the juniors that rounded out, Talia Soskos, who is out at the moment with, injury. Audrey Lukey hurt herself during our scrimmage. Those are juniors that we will look to have, not Audrey this year, but Talia for sure going forward when we get her back from her ankle, someone that can score the ball very well. Maddie Cuttinger is coming off a knee injury as a junior. So we just have a lot of different pieces that need game time, need practice, need repetitions to help us really get going. I think I talked a little bit about Kennedy Kolstad. She's a freshman, about 5'11", really, really good with the ball, very patient for a freshman around the hoop. We're going to see lots and lots of improvement from her throughout the course of the season.
The name that for many fans would stand out on that list would be Haley Klum. Tell us about Haley and her game and what she's done to improve her game the last year or so.
I just really think as much as anything, her ability to put herself in good positions around the hoop. She works extremely hard, not only in practice, but getting herself ready for the season. She did as well. Just putting a lot of time in the gym, conditioning herself to be able to play long stretches of time, which is what we ask of her. She's very clever around the hoop. She's an undersized post, but she finds ways to get her hands on the ball, keep it alive, and then get opportunities to go to the free throw line. So she really does it all around that. And then not only that, on the floor, she just is super positive. She's positive at practice, and she pushes people. She demands them to be working as hard as they can, and that's something that you really can never take for granted as to have a senior like that.
She seems to be quite aggressive on the offensive end. She's one girl who really likes to look for her shot or create a shot for herself.
Yeah, for sure. And, you can see that in her stats already. I think the thing that impresses me the most, being the size she is, playing against kids that are sometimes a lot bigger than her, is she gets her hands, she keeps that ball alive. Whether or not she gets the rebound or not, someone is able to, corral it, and we get second and third shots because of her. She does do a very nice job on the offensive end.
Is there a danger, because of her experience and her ability, of the other players being inexperienced waiting for her to do something, and it's kind of standing around saying, "Well, we need some points here. Haley, go ahead and do that."
Right. I think she's the type of player that's not really going to allow that to happen. I think any team falls into that trap of maybe having her, maybe her wanting to do more than she needs to. I think she trusts her teammates, and I think that's what we're seeing each and every game. It gets a little bit better as far as realizing you cannot win a game with one person. And so if they're going to, really key on her getting other people good opportunities, and she does a really nice job of that. The one other junior that I wanted to talk about is Ryan Costa. She's someone that, as the reps come for the season, she's going to give us good minutes, as well as senior Hannah Ridgway, who her sisters plays last year, just a great athlete. And so we just have a lot of different pieces, and we're still trying to find our identity, both on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Speaking of improvement, I did notice your first couple of ball games. I thought a great deal of improvement in Kylie Laufenberg from last year to this year. Tell us what she's done to step up her game.
Again, she's a kid that puts time in the off season and plays AAU and puts herself in position to be aggressive with that ball. And you need someone that will drive into the lane to create that help to kick for other people shooting, and look for Haley on the inside. She's a tough defender, and we look for her to not only score points for us, but also defend as well as get rebounds. She's always pretty high up there and getting her hand on that ball on the defensive end for boards.
Let's bring in Mike Steinwegner. Mike, any questions or comments you have for Coach Michaelis?
Yeah, I know I had a chance to see your ball club first game of the season against Eau Claire North, and it just seemed like we got to about the 5 or 6 minute mark, and all of a sudden they seemed to run out of gas. But they were in that ball game all the way. I mean, they played tough in that ball game, and Laufenberg, of course, had finished with, if I'm not mistaken, 16 points in that ball game, and Haley had also had 16, and of course Kennedy had 17 to start out her varsity career, and I got the chance to see her as an 8th grader last year, and I was very, very impressed with her handling the ball for her size, and she loved to go to the hoop. The one thing is taking care of the ball. You guys are averaging 22 turnovers a ball game, and you're not going to win many ball games, with 22 turnovers a ball game. But you had a great ball game against Wausau East and put 72 points on the board. So your offense must have been clicking that night.
It was, and I think that's the one thing that we've. Over the course of the month that we've been together is simply, and I've said that same exact quote, we will not win ball games if you don't take care of the ball. And so that's something that we have really made an effort to work on daily. And going back to old school, if you have this many, then we're just going to run. You got to think about that ball all the time. We talk about valuing that possessions that you get. If you're giving someone 20 extra possessions, you will just not be successful. And so it is a concentrated effort right now across the board, and we definitely have to get better at it. I do think we have the ability to put the ball in the hoop a little bit easier than maybe I thought coming into the season, and that's a good thing. But we do have a lot of people that can help out in that on that end of the floor, whether it's shooting on the inside or creating on the inside, with Klum and Kennedy being really clever with that ball and creating opportunities for others. So I do think we are a work in progress, which is what I said early on, and that we're going to see a lot of improvement, and we just kind of had to weather this storm playing the teams that we did and get out of it what we could, and then build on it going forward and, get better on the defensive end. We are definitely in better shape than the first game you saw us, just because we did run out of gas, and you can't be doing that in games if you're going to close out games.
I know I got a chance to watch the JVs also, and you've got some very talented JV ball players on there too that could, possibly move up into that varsity spot. But with the injuries that you got, you may have to move them up. But so it turns out that having those ball players from the JV level, and looking for the future also is a big plus also.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's, you have 8 seniors that walked out the door last year and leaving us with 2 with experience. And I think this is a nice mix of kids from freshmen to seniors. And then you add those kids that are getting the experience at the JV level. But we use them a lot in practice as well. I think we're set up for a good future.
I know, looking at your schedule coming up, you got Wisconsin Rapids coming up here this Friday and that, but and then you got Holman, DC Everest, and Chippewa Falls. I mean, Chippewa Falls usually tough in that Big Rivers Conference, but then you got the tournament, the annual tournament you got coming up, and I actually see a new school on there, New Richmond, coming in, and also Oshkosh West. I'm so used to seeing Wausau West, usually in this tournament also. So.
Yeah, it's we like what we like our schedule coming up, and we like that holiday tournament's good. I think the New Richmond is a new one. The Menominee one that was canceled on Tuesday. Those are good games for us. Being in the Division II level this year, we needed to get a different mix of teams just to help us with the seeding.
And also, of course, this is going to be the first year where you guys go to D2 for tournament-wise, and it's kind of looking like the old Wisconsin Valley. As you've got in that group, you've got Antigo in there, you've got Merrill in there, you've got Rhinelander in there, and you got Wausau East, and so you've got kind of looking at 5 Valley teams, from the past and that in there. So it's actually a very winnable, I feel, regional and sectional to get into that sectional final.
Yeah, and it is something that we talked about, that we knew that we're going to take our lumps in some of the games, especially early on with the schedule that we had. But as the season goes, and if we progress the way that we think we are going to, if we get the kids back from injuries, I see good things. If we learn as we go and get better, I think we'll be, the goal is always to play the best basketball at the end of the year. And that's what we keep telling the kids, to hang in there and keep working hard and work on the things that we need to get better, take care of the ball, playing tougher on the defensive end, being in better shape. I think we're going to see good things as we go if we just keep our head down and keep working.
Okay. Gene?
Heidi, tell us about your coaching staff for this year.
Yes, we have much the same as last year. Assistant coach Jess Lemoyne is with me again. JV head coach is Kristen Brandt. We do a lot together in practice with the JV, so it's kind of a concerted effort that we have. And then JV2 coach this year is Darren Kurth, back from last year as well. So fun group to be with, and we look forward to being in the gym every day.
All right, and Heidi's Ball Club back in action on Friday, a girls and boys doubleheader. Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. Girls game at 6:30, 6:15,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, okay.
6 o'clock.
You're right, 6 o'clock. Girls at 6, boys to follow, and both games on Friday evening on WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com. Heidi, we'll see you then.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Marshfield Tiger girls basketball coach Heidi Michaelis joining us on our girls basketball coaches program tonight here at Nutz Deep 2. By the way, we had Larry Hazer on earlier. I get Larry back a bit later on, but Larry and Dick Olson join us for his program, Two Guys on Sports, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. right here on WOSQ. You're listening to our girls basketball preview program on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield, and WOSQFM.com, as well as ZaleskiSports.com. Back with Stratford girls basketball coach Tammie Christopherson following these messages.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Hello, I'm Jenny Shaner, Realtor, Next Home Hub City. If you're a first-time home buyer or seller, or you've been around the block, because of my experience, I'm able to help you in the most efficient way. I'm a full-time, full-service realtor. I focus on my clients 100%. Let's work together as a team for a win in your next real estate transaction.
At the Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
We have team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that look for my best interest. And he said, we're gonna get you up walking without the walker. And I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
We're at Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield for our girls basketball coaches program tonight. Our next guest is Stratford Tiger girls basketball coach Tammie Christopherson. Tammie, welcome to our program and good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me here.
Stratford Tigers off to a good start, 6-0 so far this year. Tammie, fill us in on that start. What's led to your success so far?
You know, we are off to a great start. You know, we have some quality wins out there. I guess obviously the big one was against Assumption. That was a hurdle we had been trying to get over for the past several years. We've got a very balanced team this year. Just looking over the stats today, we've had all of our starters have been a leading scorer at least once this season. You know, so that is what I kind of think is our superpower, that we have, you know, a lot of kids that can shine on any given night, and collectively we are a pretty strong group.
Can you tell us, Tammie, what that does mean to your girls and your program to win a ball game against Assumption, a team that's been so good for so long?
Yeah, it was a long drought there. The last time we had beat them was when Brianna Ackley was a senior, and we had to play them on a Monday night, the night that we started playoffs to win a share of the conference. So that was the COVID year. And so it's been a long time. And so I think it was it's about 4 years since we had beat them. And so it was a huge boost to our confidence because in the past few years we've had very solid teams, but a lot of times we got against those elite teams and we'd play them tight, we'd play them close, and we could just never get over the hump, so to speak. And so that was a huge win and a boost in confidence for our kids.
Oh, that sounds good. How about some of the players on your team this year and where they fit in for you?
Yeah, you know, we have a lot of returning experience out there this year. Carly Pankratz leads us off there. She's kind of our Swiss Army knife. Like, we ask her to do a lot. She handles the ball. She defends the best player, you know, and we call on her to score a great deal too. So she kind of leads us off. We have Michaelis who is at our other guard spot. Very strong player as well. She has a super high basketball IQ. She shoots a great three ball, and her defense has really improved this year, and she has been a big asset there as well. Tria Tubbs is back this year in the post. You know, she's always a force to deal with. Not a lot of teams enjoy matching up with Tria. And Emily Zilke as well down there. And Emily's really come a long way on her defense as well, too. We have her out guarding the 2 and 3 at sometimes this year. And, you know, she has really kind of put it together so far. She just was our leading scorer last night. We snuck the Newman game in. So we're seeing some great things out of her. And then we round out with Erica Frick as well. And she kind of goes back and forth between the guard and the post. And at 5'5", she's one of the most tenacious rebounders that I've seen in a while. So a great group of kids there that are starting for us this year.
And once again, like several other coaches we've talked to tonight, a program with some good returning ball players this year. That's going to make your job a bit easier going into the season.
Yeah, it definitely does. And, you know, like, we have some strong kids coming off the bench, too. We have Lucy Zaleski, who is just a hardworking young lady who is also a senior. And then we bring in some sophomores. We have Emma Mays, who's with us for the first time this year, and Maddie Ostricky and Kennedy Hornkey, too. And all of those kids are improving every day, and they're starting to contribute on both ends of the floor, too.
Any areas where the ball club looks pretty strong this year?
You know, I think we're crushing teams on rebounds. Offensive boards has been a big thing for us. I would like to see us convert a few more of those into points, but one step at a time. So I think we're really dominant on that end. and also I think just together the girls are playing really well. Like I said, we have some 3 and 4 year varsity players out there, and some kids that have been starting varsity for 2-3 years, and so lots of experience, and it shows. I think when we play against other teams, like even if things get a little tough, I don't feel like we get rattled like we had in the past.
Well, once again this year, Mr. Steinwagner will be broadcasting many of your games on ZaleskiSports.com. So, Mike, how about some questions or comments you have on Stratford
First of all, Tammie, I want to say it's a great pleasure working your ball games, the boys and the girls. I mean, 2 outstanding programs over there. And I know watching your ball club, in fact, like you mentioned, Emily coming out and really surprised me last night against Newman. All of a sudden, I see her out on the top of the key, and it's like, whoa, holy cow, what is she doing out there? But and of course, I call them the Twin Towers, and between Emily and Tria, you guys are averaging 38 rebounds a ball game, and of course, I looked also. Erica is averaging almost 6 rebounds per ball game also, and it's a good addition as that number 5 starter to fill that spot from last year, and of course a little bit about the new freshman you brought up also this season.
Yeah, so like I said, we have some young kids that are starting. They're getting some time this last week and a half. We've handled a couple of teams with a good enough spread on the score that we can get everybody a lot of playing time. And so I think it's always important when you have the opportunity, just even giving some of those young kids a few minutes here and there, it definitely just helps develop their confidence, and you might need them down the road a little bit too, so you got to keep working on it.
In fact, watching Carly play, I mean, and you've got her back next year, which is a big plus also, and she had a rarity the very first ball game, Gene. She had actually, you don't see many high school kids with a triple-double, and she came 1 assist away from a triple-double that night against Kobe. She had, I'm thinking she had like 16 points. She had 10 steals, and she had 9 assists that night. So an outstanding ball game by. In fact, I've seen a lot of basketball, and I've been involved in basketball for over 50 years, and I'll tell you, she's one of the quickest guards I have seen in a long, long time, and it's a pleasure watching her play. And also, looking, just down the road here, of course, you've started out with a 6-0 record. Last year, you started out with a 9-0 record. Then all of a sudden, that Christmas section came in there. You fell where you lost, like 4 of your next 5 ball games, but then you reeled off another 9 straight wins last year, and hopefully it doesn't change as you of course ranked 3rd in the state right now in Division 4, and looking at the other teams in this Marewood Conference, it's a very, very, I feel the Marewood Conference is one of the toughest small school conferences in the state of Wisconsin. You look at Assumption, who was ranked number 1 when you knocked them off. They're number 2 now. Marathon, is receiving honorable mention. And then you look at Auburndale at number 10, and then, of course, Stratford at number 3. And looking down the road in the sectional wise, in fact, Stratford's got the top power rating right now in the state of Wisconsin, or in that sectional, and you don't have to deal with Neillsville this year, so you kind of moved over. So, but it's actually a very, very tough regional sectional that you'll have this year.
Oh, it's always tough. Let's be honest. I think I just always draw one of the tougher ones that are out there. The last few years we've had no luck in terms of getting an easy path, but you have to get through it one way or the other. So, that's the mindset we go to. And, the Marewood South is always tough. We're kind of we're leading into a marathon here before Christmas, and we have the gauntlet thrown down. Then we go up to Bangor, and we'll see them, or Darlington. We'll play CFC. And then right after Christmas, we get Auburndale, Assumption back to back. So, I mean, we always have a tough row kind of scheduled there, like through the Christmas break and after, and we just have to keep working on it, getting better. Like, I honestly don't hold a whole lot of like stock in the power rankings and the preseason polls and all this, because Auburndale and us haven't played yet. Marathon and us haven't played yet. So we'll find out who's the number 1 team in the conference within the next few weeks. And until you play each other, it's anyone's game. And I'll be honest, it'll be a small miracle to get through the Marewood South unscathed. Like, I don't know if anybody walks out of there undefeated this season, because there's so much talent in that.
And you're going to, like I mentioned, the top 4 teams in this conference, and any one of them can beat anybody on a given night. I mean, there's that much talent in the Marewood Conference.
Yep, and it's been that way for a long time, and a lot of other schools don't understand. I'm like, yeah, our conference, I said, when you look in the past history and you have 2 and sometimes 3 teams from your conference going to the state tournament over the years, but I like it. I like that competition. That's what keeps me coaching. That's what keeps us going is that push to be better and play the tough teams out there.
And it's not just the conference games. It's non-conference games that make you a better ball club also by playing a better non-conference schedule also. But the thing is, if you look at last year, there was 3 teams right around that 20-win area last season that shows that you can win your non-conference ball games.
Yeah, and it's like I said, you have to beat the best, you got to play the best. So going out and playing teams that you win by 30, 40 isn't what's going to make you better in the long run. What makes you better is win or lose, going out and challenging yourself, because you have to be ready when end of February rolls around. And so we got a lot of basketball to play before then. So we're going to focus on just improving our skills right now. All
right, I'm looking forward to Friday night with the doubleheader with Abbotsford, as actually usually it's the girls game first and the guys game afterward, but we're going flip-flop this time, and you get the later game then at 7:15 and the boys come in at 5:30. So if you get a chance, come on out, watch the Stratford Tigers. I mean, they're an exciting team to watch.
Tammie, how about your coaching staff for this year?
So I have Katie Wojcik back again. She is my assistant, and then this year we have Austin Frick, who's a new addition to our program at the JV level. All
right, well, good luck throughout the season. Once again, Abbotsford at your place on Friday night. Good luck in that ball game throughout the season.
Thank you.
Stratford Tiger girls basketball coach Tammie Christopherson joining us on our girls basketball coaches program from Nutz Deep 2 in Marshfield. By the way, on Friday evening here at Nutz Deep 2, you can enjoy their fish fry, voted the best of Marshfield 4 years in a row, right here at Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Back with Neillsville girls basketball coach John Gaier as our girls basketball preview program continues following these messages.
New Gross Motors Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Truck Showroom and Service Center is now open. Check out the new Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Showroom, Lounge, and Service Center. Rows and rows of vehicles, the best selection around, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you through the buying process. Gross Motors in Neillsville now has the largest Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership in central Wisconsin, all in one spot on Highway 10 in Neillsville.
It just makes sense. Mittens carries higher quality furniture from all of your favorite brands because we want you to be proud of your space.
It just makes sense. Mittens carries all of your favorite appliance brands so we can save you money on the products you trust.
It just makes sense that Mittens services what we sell because we want your home to be comfortable and run smoothly.
It just makes sense. Central Wisconsin has shopped at Mittens since 1938 because we have it all.
Russell's of Neillsville for all your design service needs. From cabinets to countertops, appliances to flooring, our design specialist is here to design and plan your kitchen or bath space. Stop in and see our design team today. Welcome to Russell's of Neillsville. Come on in and let me show you around. Washers, dryers, freezers, ranges, and refrigerators. Sofas, mattresses, lift chairs too. Russell's of Neillsville. More of what you're looking for.
Meet your friends at Schmitty's on Main. Schmitty's on Main is open Tuesday through Sunday with daily specials for breakfast, lunch, and their Friday night fish fry. Sunday lunch always features Schmitty's signature chicken dinner. Let Schmitty's cater your next event or ask them about their banquet hall. Stop by Schmitty's today. You'll never be disappointed or go away hungry. Call a friend and make plans to meet at Schmitty's on Main. 436 Hewitt Street in Neillsville.
Good to have you with us this evening for our girls basketball preview program here at Nutz Deep 2 on WOSQ and ZaleskiSports.com. Our next guest is longtime Neillsville girls basketball coach John Gaier. Since Larry Hazer is the play-by-play announcer for Neillsville Sports, we'll turn things over to Larry and have him open the interview. Larry, go ahead.
John, glad to have you with us here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here, and I really appreciate the way you guys cover high school sports. I know our kids really appreciate it, our families appreciate it, so thanks for all you guys do.
Well, it's fun to do games, especially Neillsville girls games.
You don't have to travel too far.
Yeah, well, very successful over the past few years. You got your 500th win here earlier this year. Your team off to an unbeaten start again. Talk a little bit about this start for your team.
Well, I talked about, the first 3 games prior to Thanksgiving is really being a gauntlet. We played McDonell, and we played Bangor, and we played Mosinee, and they're all traditionally really, really good basketball teams. And so we had to try to figure out kind of what we were going to be, and kids have found ways to win. We're working hard, and I don't think we've hit our ceiling yet. We're still trying to find out what our ceiling is, but our kids play hard, and getting through that and getting through the first games after Thanksgiving as well. Credit to the kids.
Always hang your hat on defense. I know we had a few other coaches come through here tonight and said that you're kind of the measuring stick as to other teams in the area as to how you play defense, and I know you're doing it again this year.
Yeah, our kids play hard. I think they are so afraid of me that they are afraid to not play defense really, really well. No, we just have kids that are willing to work hard. And, I think what's really key is I've been blessed with so many smart kids, and they just don't break down, and they stay connected well. And that is just one of the fortunate things that I've been able to have over the years in the kids that have come up through Neillsville. So that's what it takes. And these kids in Neillsville are willing to do it. And I think tradition matters. I think these kids see teams prior to them and the way they play and the expectation of, you got to be a good defensive team. And we talk about defense travels. When you go on the road, if you defend well, you still have a chance to be in the game, even if you don't shoot it that well. So, we do hang our hat on that. But, one thing I tell our kids is as you start moving through the tournament, every team plays good defense, and you still have to find a way to score the ball. And so that's a conversation that we have as well. So we're trying to get that balance, and we'll know when we get there.
I noticed on your roster a strong junior class this year. Talk a little bit about those young ladies.
Yeah, we have three seniors that have been doing an outstanding job of leading us, and I really appreciate them. But we are pretty junior dominant. We got 5 juniors actually that have good skills, that have been very successful. 4 of them get a lot of minutes on the varsity level, but they are just a really good, hard-working bunch that have played a lot of basketball over the years, and it's really nice to see them come together. But I give a lot of credit to our seniors who understand that they have to blend with these people, and make sure that that they're playing well. I always tell our teams that our teams belong to the seniors. We're going to go where our seniors take us, and our seniors are unselfish, and they play hard. They're good leaders, and they're willing to blend in with our younger kids, and that's what it takes to be a good team.
You mentioned the ceiling you haven't hit yet. What's going to be the key for your team to hit that ceiling, or get there?
Really limit defensive breakdowns, but developing an offensive consistency. Being able to get a good paint game, getting the ball inside, being able to play inside, outside, taking good care of the ball, knowing what good shots are, developing that kind of consistency at both ends of the floor. I think that's what's going to really measure what your ceiling's going to be.
You played. You mentioned some good teams early in the season here. Now, that's got to be a confidence booster for your team now heading into the Christmas break, and then of course after that it's big time conference schedule.
Yeah. I hope it is. I mean, it's something we can talk about that hopefully we learn from playing really good teams. And, Columbus was another team that we played that is a really good up-and-coming team. So I hope that gives us some confidence going through. But, all I think our kids at least I hope all our kids think about is the next one. And what are we going to have to do in the next one, and what are we going to take from what we've learned in the last ones and put it into the next one and get that one done as well.
I know a lot of coaches in the conference put you guys, at the top of the Eastern Quarter Belt coming into this season. How do you see that conference shaping up? I know you mentioned Columbus Catholic.
Well, I think everybody's better than we are. So that's the mentality that I think I go in with, and that we've got to outwork them. But this year, I think we have some really talented individual players across the conference. There are some kids that have played for a lot of years, and even some newcomers that are really, really talented players. Kids are playing so much more basketball in AAU and in summer ball and summer leagues and those type of things. There are some really talented kids, and if you don't come ready to play all the time, there's going to be kids on teams that can beat you, and you're going to have to find ways to stop them. We don't talk a lot about winning championships and doing those type of things. We talk about winning each possession, and if we fight on each possession, there's a good chance the scoreboard will come out on our side, and then if that happens one game, then we go on to the next one.
Do you find any of the girls not buying into that and looking at some of those accolades?
Oh, I'm sure they do, but they just don't tell me about it. So they're smart enough not to tell me about it. I don't know. I talk about all the time that last year's team and prior year's teams and the state qualifying teams, they're not walking through the door this year to help us win. This is our team this year, and so regardless of what happened in the past, this is the team that's got to get it done now. And so it's your responsibility and it's your opportunity. And I think our kids buy into that, and I think they cherish the opportunity.
Gene?
Coach, as we mentioned, your program has been known for its defensive standards. I'm just wondering if 20 years ago, when you were starting out as the girls' coach at Neillsville, you probably had some young ladies in the stands applauding the varsity players for scoring points, making good offensive plays, not really paying attention on the defensive end. But now, 20 years later, do you have young ladies, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th graders, sit there and say, hey, I just saw so-and-so, I just saw Sydney Subke make a really good defensive play, or some other player make a real good defensive play? Has the defense been so ingrained now in your program that the young ladies coming up recognize the strong defensive play?
Well, when we talk to our younger teams, the first thing I tell them is, if you ever want to play at the high school level here, you're going to have to be a good defender. Because good defense, a lot of it is head, heart, and feet. It doesn't take a lot of great athleticism to be a great defender. If you're not as quick as somebody else, then you got to be quicker between the ears than the people you're playing with, and you got to know exactly where to be and where to get there, and being able to anticipate more. I tell our kids all the time that if you're quicker between the ears than the other team, if you can go from defense to offense faster than the other team can go from offense to defense, and you can go from offense to defense faster than they can go from defense to offense, you're going to win a lot of games. And it's not necessarily about feet, it's just getting ready to play. I think one of the things that is probably undervalued when they talk about Neillsville's success defensively is we take pretty good care of the ball. So I think that's really important, because it allows us to get 5 defenders back. And the toughest thing to score against is 5 defensive players, right? 5-on-5 is the hardest thing to score against. So if you take pretty good care of the ball and you don't get a lot of live ball turnovers, being able to get your defense set is really going to be important, and we talk a lot about that.
Okay. How about your coaching staff for this year?
Jamie Kuhn is back. He's been there longer than I have in the girls program. So he's not only a great JV coach and great fundamental coach, but he's my historian. So he can go back and give me a history that I don't even know about. But really happy to have him. We have Kevin Langrick, who has been a volunteer for us now for quite some time, who helps work with our younger kids as well as our high school kids. So we appreciate them. But, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that it really does take a village to have a program, especially a successful one. And we have had so many people, and I don't want to try to name them all because I know I'd miss one, but there's a lot of credit that goes around that shouldn't be given to me, that other people have done to help kids become really good basketball players and really coachable kids. So a huge thank you for those folks.
Well, Coach, good luck this season. You're back in action tomorrow. Big ball game against Owen Withey. Good luck in that ball game tomorrow evening.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thanks again for having me, and thanks for your coverage.
Thanks, John.
Neillsville girls basketball coach John Gaier joining us. That ball game tomorrow, by the way, between Neillsville and Owen Withey will be broadcast on ZaleskiSports.com and also on 92.7 FM WPKG with Larry Hazer and Dick Olson. And more of our high school girls basketball coaches program following these messages.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield, is your local Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. They have it all, including farm tractors and the best-selling and #1 rated in durability and owner experience Kubota compact do-it-all tractors. And don't forget the versatile Kubota RTV utility vehicles, along with Kubota zero-turn mowers for the best lawn care equipment. Get them all at Chili Implement. Chili Implement is open Monday through Saturday. Call us or visit our website at chiliimplement.com.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Nutz Deep 2, a Marshfield favorite for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Soup, salad, pizza, omelets, sandwiches, wraps, and burgers. How about appetizers like loaded tots and Super Nutz nachos? 14 large TVs to watch all your favorite games. Plus, entertainment and event space for groups large and small for your upcoming parties. Nutz Deep 2 again, awarded Best Burgers and Fish Fry in Marshfield. Nutz Deep 2 on South Central Avenue in Marshfield and Nutz Deep 2 North in Spencer.
Thank you.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition.
And that will close out our high school girls basketball coaches program this evening on ZaleskiSports.com and WOSQ. And Larry Hazer, thanks for coming by. Should be a good season for girls basketball.
I think it will be.
And our boys basketball program 1 week from tonight right here at Nutz Deep 2 starting at 6 p.m.
I just got an announcement here on the NFL has announced the Packers will host Baltimore in a Sunday night game December 27th.
Okay.
It's been moved to 7 o'clock.
All right, well, we'll make note of that. And once again, good luck to the girls basketball teams throughout central Wisconsin this year. Thanks again to Mike Steinwagner and Jason Zaleski. For Larry Hazer, I'm Gene Delisio. Thanks for joining us for our girls basketball preview program.